Hey beautiful, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, hi, my name is Alexis Jayda and welcome. Today's notification shout out goes to Brianna Harden. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Your comment had me laughing hard. If you want to be part of the notification squad, all you have to do is just like the video, hit subscribe, and leave a comment down below, and your comment can possibly be the next notification shout out. And let's get into the story time. It's been a busy day. Dentist appointments. I got cheese me. I was booked to do a makeup client and it went left. Super left. I'm still heated about it, so I don't even want to talk about it that much yet, but I don't understand. Today when I was at the store, this lady saw me and all my babies. She was like looking at, you know how you just look at them. She's looking at all me and my babies, and I'm like, she's like, wow, you have a lot of children. I'm like, you must have had them really young. I said, yes. I'm continuing to do my own business, but she is just looking at my kids. Now, Jade, you guys know Jade. Baby Jade got some attitude. Her name fits her perfectly. When I talk about Jada came out, yes. And Henika's middle name is Jada too. They both, yes, it fits them perfectly. Baby Jade's like, just looks at her. So I always got to like, you know, put my hand over Mija's eyes, because I'm like, I don't want her to give anyone ojo, and I don't want no one to give her ojo, because I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be mad. Like, ain't no way. So I'm always like, you know, doing that to her face. And this lady is just looking at us, you guys. So she says it again, like, oh, you must have had them young. And I was like, yep, super young. And so I'm like, still doing what I'm doing. And she's like, how old are you? Now, she's not asking like, oh, girl, how old are you? She's like, how old are you? Like, very, I don't mind, especially because I do story times. Like, I'm not shy, but I don't like when it comes where it feels like, okay, you're coming off judgy, because I'm not going to sit here and do this whole like spiel with you. The judgy eyes, I don't need them, and my babies don't need them either. So I'm trying to ignore her, okay? But she's still like, just like right there. And I'm just like, at this age, your kids need to be with you outside when you go shopping, because you don't know how to act right, okay? That's just how I feel, because the way she was acting. And I'm over here, like, this is my cart. Why is she over here with me? Why, like, are you gonna help me scan? Or are we like, what are we doing? And her hubby's behind here, like, why are you right there? I don't like it. If I could put my pin in and you're right there, no, you're too close. If I could go like this, you're too close. She was too close. So she asks me again, how old are you? I'm like, how old are you? She tells me that her sister was a young mom, and she disappointed my parents. And it's like a long silence where I'm just like, still doing what I'm doing. The kids now are starting to like try to talk to me. She's like trying to interrupt my kids when they're talking to me, and she's like, she was a good mom though. Great. Didn't ask. So she asks me again, so how old are you? And she's like looking at all my kids. Her husband has to tell her, honey, she looks younger than you. He's trying to be so sweet with it, you know what I mean? And I'm like, yep, super. And so I keep trying to like, you know, whatever. He like pulls her back, and she just like, she caught the hint. Even the lady that was like right there close to bagging her stuff, she kind of like, you know, too. It reminds me how my mom tells me that my grandma stares out in public, where like people be trying to square up with my grandma because they're like, what are you looking at? And my grandma's just like, or in their conversations, my mom's like, we'll be eating, Nika, and she's like in the other person's conversation. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you letting her do that? Like, stop it. Like, that's so like weird. I don't know, that lady irritated my soul, y'all. It gave me flashbacks when I took my kids to the grocery store one time. At the time I had my 4 little babies, and this older gentleman stopped me, and he calls me Maria, and he was like, you know, you're supposed to take breaks in between. Like, I hate when people think they're funny. Like, why are you talking to me? You must have not had cable, huh? You must have been, shut up. It's been like up here. I'm talking about appointment. Each appointment's an hour, okay? And I have to break it up in 3s because I have 6. So each one's a, you know what I mean? So it's a routine. I love it because I love my whole big family. And, you know, I wish I could expand it. But I'm just like, dang. Like, just because like you love something doesn't mean like you can't get exhausted of it, you know what I mean? So that's been going on. Some fam were not excited about me putting the audio in there, and me vale madre. And yeah, and then the makeup client pissed me off. Anyways, let me know what you guys are doing. If you guys are cooking, if you guys are cleaning, if you guys are driving to work, if you guys are working out, chilling in the house, if you guys are baking, let me know what you guys are doing. I would love to know down below. I hope everyone had an amazing Valentine's Day. I swear, even when I try my hardest to say Valentine's, I guess it sounds like I'm saying times. Y'all, I don't really open my mouth all the way when I talk sometimes. And I didn't even know that until my husband told me. I'm just like, dang, you're gonna make fun of my lashes? Why are they looking down? And then you're gonna talk about how I don't even open my mouth when I talk. I'm just like, because I know a lot of you guys thought I was saying Baltimore, but I'm saying Baltimore. I don't know. I think I just got used to just talking like that. I don't know. Only my siblings can understand me, like, for real, for real. When we're together, my husband's like, you guys speak a different language. Like, it's crazy. You guys are just like... So I gotta, like, remember to open my mouth when I talk. I just feel like it's very weird when I do that. It feels like it's very forced. So... I lost what I was saying, y'all. I lost what I was saying. Oh, Valentine's. Oh my god. Hope you guys had an amazing Valentine's Day. And yeah, all that good stuff. I love you guys so much. Now let's get started in the story time. Boom. Bing. I'm ready just to, like, they was expensive though, so they gotta stay on for a little bit longer. Mr. Peach reports Sam as a runaway, so we can't leave because now the cops are involved. And you guys, I'm just so ready to go home. I'm like so pissed off because why are we here? Why are we dealing with this? And it makes me so mad because I just feel like Sam is now going to go into hiding even longer now because she doesn't want to get in trouble. And Mr. Peach has threatened her. He was telling her that they're going to take her to juvie and that it's not a game and whoever is hanging out with her is going to get in trouble. And Sam is like not responding, doesn't care. And I am just like, the babies are sick. And I feel like the Peaches, they're playing it too cool. Now, I feel it was any other mom, they would have flipped the whole place upside down. They would have been making noise of like, what's going on? All of that, right? Like, even when I ran away, my mom was like calling everybody when she was like going through her depressive stage. I ran away. She was quick to call the popos. And I remember being so pissed off that she did because I was like, oh, now you care? Like, oh my gosh, I'll be back. But girl, you ran all the way super far. But anyways, so I'm all annoyed because the babies are sick and I feel like, oh my god, great, we're gonna be out here even longer. Mr. Peach, Mrs. Peach, they're just still having fun. Like, they're still doing their thing. And I'm expecting them to be like throwing up in the room, worried sick about Sam, but they're literally just like chilling. Like, we keep trying to call Sam and she's not answering. She's not picking up. Oh, someone was messaging me saying that I said the name Sarah. I don't think I said the name Sarah. I think if anything, like, maybe it's because like I don't open my mouth sometimes all the way and it sounds like I'm saying a name, but I'm not saying the name. The name is not Sarah. That FAMBAM wrote me, was like, I know you said it and I'm not gonna tell anybody. Lies, 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 because I seen her commenting under other saying like, oh, she says the name Sarah, or is it just me? Girl, imagine if it was. Imagine if it was. I was just like, como que you're not gonna say anything. You're over there replying to the comments underneath like, I think she said so. Anyways, so I'm like, where the hell could she be? The kids are sick, and you guys, I'm starting to feel like, oh, and I don't know if it's because like I'm just feeling crappy or like, oh yeah, like now you're getting under the weather because you're taking care of the sick babies. So I start having a little tude with Mrs. Peach because why are you still out there gambling, getting tacos late at night? Because she got her cravings. And it's like, cool, you have your cravings, but come chill in the room with your babies. Why do you gotta be watching TV with your feet kicked up in the other room, acting like you got no like responsibilities? Oh, y'all, it irritated me so freaking bad where I was like, I ain't no way. So babies are still sick. 1 day passes by, 2 days passes by. Mr. Peach is kind of getting a little bit annoyed because he's like, all right, I thought like they were going to find her by now. Like, what's going on? I'm still calling Sam and the voicemail is still full. And it's so annoying because it's very stressful. Even if the Peaches were like, oh, psh, ain't no biggie, she's gonna pop up. No, it's very stressful because it's like one of those things like you just never know. And there's so many creeps here. There's so many like people with bad intentions. Like I just feel like it's not something to gamble on and be like, oh yeah, like let's just see what happens. Why like why would we want to see what happens? Like I just don't understand it. You know, homegirl sold her company for $1.3 billion. The Alani, this is the last I'm gonna drink of it because I guess Celsius bought it, and I didn't have a good reaction with Celsius, but good for her. I know a lot of people are pissed, but good for her. 1.3 billion is a lot of money, girl. But anyways, so I started getting a little attitude because I'm getting annoyed, and there's only so much I can like fake of me not getting annoyed, but it's like really hard. So I'm stressed because of the kids. I'm stressed because it's not like a, oh yeah, she's just, you know, chilling in the room just for a little bit, like relax. No, it's a lot of it. Homegirl got no shame. Like I hated where it was just like, why are you that relaxed? You're weird. You're weird. Mr. Peach, he was a little bit like moody because he was really like, okay, Sam, where are you? Marco Polo, where are you? Like, what is going on? Like, he was like, are you calling? Have you called her? Has she said anything? No, I haven't. No, I haven't. No. So Baltimore was saying that if she has not been found by the end of the week, that she was gonna come in. Mrs. Peach is like, no, she better be back by then because I'm not dealing with it. So she's all sassy. She's in her little mood. She don't want to. But it was like, it's not about you, Mrs. Peach. It's literally about Sam. Whether you think she's playing a game or not, homegirl is missing. And we need to find her because who knows what she's doing and who knows what is happening to her. Babies are still sick. Babies are still very high fever. Anytime I ask Mrs. Peach for help, she literally makes me regret it and has me doing other stuff that I don't want to do, like cleaning up the other room. She's just a freaking bitch. I hated that she literally loved being called mom, or other people would be like, oh my gosh, you have so many babies. Oh my god, I love being a mom. She hated the responsibility. She hated the responsibility, and it pissed me off. She didn't even want to help. She was annoyed when they whined because they didn't feel good. Like, I know, like moving them like all rough or changing them all rough, where like it made me just be like, oh my god, like never mind. Like I just couldn't wait till she was like done. And I felt bad when I needed a break or I needed to go to the restroom or, you know, anything like that, and she had to step in and help, because I felt like she was rough on purpose because she knew that I cared and she hated how it made me feel. And who knows, maybe she's like, oh no, like it's not that deep. No, I literally think that's why she did it, because you could just see it on her face where like, you're wrong. Like her faces that she would make pissed me off. Like it made me just instantly want to be like, hey, I regret it. Like never mind, because of how mad she would get. Or when they would try to ask questions. What? ¿Qué? ¿Qué dices? ¿Qué? What? Oh, cállate. Like she was just overstimulated to the max, and it's like, okay, I get it, extra hormonal, but like, dude, you don't have to be here. We can literally go, like we can leave, like we don't have to stay here. But I feel like since she knew that Baltimore was gonna come back, she didn't want to chance it and leave, and it was just so annoying because she was such a miserable freaking bitch. So we go down and we eat all together because Mrs. Peach didn't like how I was complaining so much, which literally I was not. And she didn't want to eat any McDonald's or any more fast food, even though she had it like once or twice. She's being dramatic. She's literally just trying to like pin it on me. She wanted the babies to get some fresh casino air. Maybe that it would make them feel better and not cooped up in their room, where she was like, I think we have to switch rooms because it's all the germs that are in these rooms. And I'm like, so how is Sam going to know that we switched rooms, right? She looks at me like if it's the stupidest thing I ever said. ¿Qué dices? And Mr. Peach is like, oh yeah, like yeah, es la verdad. I'm like, that's the truth, like that's the truth. She looks at me like she just wants to like, and I'm like telling her like, yeah, like what if her phone's dead? Like we're in those rooms. Those are the rooms that like she knows we're at. Well, she can just go to the front desk. And I'm like, no, I don't think she's gonna do that. I think she's gonna think we abandoned her. She's like, oh my god, Alexis, ¿por qué sos tan dramática? Tell me why. Tell me why. And I'm like, I'm not. Because I don't know, y'all tell me. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? And if you say yes, go sit over there. But like, I honestly don't think I'm tripping. Mr. Peach is like, oh, like I said, like good thinking. Like I feel like I haven't been able to think. I feel like my mind's just been like, so like, oh my god. So like we're eating, and the whole time she's just like, and he's telling her like, oh, are you gonna eat, my love? Like, mi amor, are you going to eat? Like, you know you need to eat. She's like, no, I lost my appetite. Ya no quiero comer. Like, oh my god. He tries so hard not to have an attitude with me about it because I know he knows that she's wrong. Like like I know she hates Sam. A lot of us hate Sam, but like, what is wrong with you? At the end of the day, Sam is a child. You're grown as, you know better. Like, I have no idea what is wrong with her. Like, she literally is stupid. Are you stupid or are you dumb? Are you stupid or are you dumb? So she doesn't want to eat. She ends up getting up and she's like, I'm going to go to the room. I need to lay down. All dramatic. And I'm like, oh, qué bueno, quieres llevar. Like, she wants to take one of the babies and stuff. She's like, ¿qué? I just told you I didn't feel good. Mr. Peach looks at me like, Alexisjayda? Like if I'm saying something crazy. And it's like, oh my God. And maybe it wasn't my place. Maybe it wasn't my place to say something. But like, damn, she was irritating me, y'all. I was really hoping that Baltimore would just pop up because I did not want to deal with Mrs. Peach no more. I just felt like she was over here living in La La Land, acting like she got no responsibilities, acting like it's just her. Like, people like her need to not have children because they literally are just like me. And it's obnoxious. Mr. Peach gives me a speech about not picking on Mrs. Peach. That it's a lot, that she's not like Baltimore, that Baltimore can take it. And he kind of like smirks when he says that. Oh my gosh, you guys, I wanted to flip the whole damn table over. Like, you're too ugly and grown to be making jokes like that. Like, it was so annoying. Like, I just gave him the ugliest looks. That's what he, and it's like, no, I think I'm the one who's supposed to say that, you dumb bitch. Like, what do you mean? Like, that's what I'm supposed to be saying to you, you idiot. The kids seem to be doing good with some casino air, and it makes me really happy. And so I kind of feel bad because I'm like, maybe it is that room. It has Baltimore's juju, and maybe that's what's keeping them sick. So I kind of feel bad because I'm like, what if Mrs. Peach is right and we need to change the rooms? And I'm over here being selfish and wanting to keep them in the room. So I honestly start like second guessing us switching rooms, or, you know, me telling Mr. Peach like, hey, maybe the dumb bitch is right and we should change rooms because the babies seem like they're doing good with some casino air. So maybe we do change it and we leave a note on the door or something, and then, you know, whatever. So I guess he can kind of see like my brain is like starting to like, and he tells me, ¿Qué? What are you thinking about? Do you know where she could be? You know? And I'm like, no, like maybe Mrs. Peach is right. And he's like, yeah, like, you know, like, yeah, like maybe she is right about like the room and stuff like that. And I tell him, I just don't want Sam to think that we left her, you know, that she's big, that she won't think that. She'll probably go to the front like Mrs. Peach, you know, mentioned. And I'm like, no, like I don't think so. So he tells me, ¿Sabes qué? You and the kids can go to another room and me and Mrs. Peach will stay in that room. You and the kids, you know? So I'm like, yeah. So we could go back up to the room, tell Mrs. Peach the plan. No, but I don't know, right? But I don't know. Starts with her whole thing. He tells her to stop. Does she ever get tired? Does she ever get tired of being so annoying? So they start to go at it, and she's like, I knew it. I knew that you were going to go back to being how you were. I knew it. Like, she just starts arguing with him about that. He's telling her she's being ridiculous. They start to fight. She comes to the room and she tells me, Alexis, get ready. We're leaving. I tell her, no quiero ir. She's like, I didn't ask you. Get ready. No quiero ir. I don't want to go. I didn't ask you. So me and her are going back and forth. Mr. Peach comes in the room. He tells me, why don't I want to leave? And I tell him because I'm like worried about Sam and I want to be here when she comes back. He tells me that like that's ridiculous. I don't need to be there when, you know, she comes back. And that just to go with Mrs. Peach. I don't know. I just feel like it's a lot different when it's just me and her, you know? So I'm like, okay. So we start packing up. She tells me that she doesn't want to leave until tomorrow. And I'm like, ¿Qué? And I'm like, nada. Like nothing. Like I just know it's another circle. It's another circle. We're really not gonna leave. She's just waiting for him to kiss ass. It just repeats. She tells me just to tell her that she's not asking me. She's telling me. And so she tells me, like, what? You think that I'm just waiting for him to ask me? And I'm like, she read my mind. Pinche bruja read my mind. Tells me no, that's not the reason, that she doesn't like driving at this time, and that we will leave first thing tomorrow morning, and that she's gonna prove me wrong, which we probably will, because she's gonna try to prove me wrong, because she thinks that like I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, like you were, you know what I mean? And it's like, in reality, I don't give up. You're still stupid and wrong. So the day continues. The babies are still fussy, and now they have really bad diarrhea. Mr. Peach is annoyed as if he's cleaning it, but I feel like he thinks that if he acts like he's pissed off about it, it saves him from any type of judgment he might feel coming from my eyes. Because he's doing the whole like, I know, but you're not doing anything. You're just putting on this whole like performance, and you think it's doing something. I see right through it. It's like honestly so annoying when you see it happening. It's even more like when you see like grown ass men doing it. It's just such a like a ugh. Who raised you? Why are you acting like that? Go sit over there. Go bury your face in a pillow, please. Like, God, you're embarrassing. Go pretend you're at least taking a shit or something. Like, it literally is infuriating, where it's just like, what are you doing? Why are you doing all that? I'm cleaning the bad diarrhea because Mrs. Peach can't stand the smell, which is cool because I don't want her to be a bitch anyways and wipe them too rough, because she's annoyed and she's just trying to hurry up and get it over with because of the smell. So she stays in the room with Mr. Peach because she can't stand to smell the diarrhea, and they literally make up. The morning comes around. She's pretending that she's getting ready, and he tells her like, ay, mi amor, like, no, like, you don't have to go, like, está bien. She goes, I don't want to hear her. I don't want to hear her. So we have to go, because I don't want to hear her. I don't want to hear her. Like, she's just like super annoyed because she doesn't want to hear anything I have to say. He's telling her like, no, Alexis is not going to say anything. Like, you're so sensitive, mija. Like, don't be like that. Like, he's trying to say like all the things for her just to like calm down. And she keeps looking at me like if I'm going to tell her like, no, I'm not going to say anything. No, I just keep looking at her like, because I am going to say something, and I don't care if you get mad. She keeps saying it so much where even Mr. Peach tells me to tell her that I'm not going to say anything. And I was like, trying to like play around with her. It sets her off. You see? I'm not going to. No. Yo no quiero. Like, she's just not going to. He's telling her to relax. Like, it's not good for her to get so worked up that like it's not a big deal. And she's like, no, it's not a big deal for you, but it's a big deal for me. I always have people telling me how I don't care and I just can't. And she's like going off on a whole tangent. Like, I literally just check her out because I don't want to hear it. It always just sounds like she wants to be able to do what she wants but not have any consequence of anything, which is like, okay, yeah, cool, but you're dumb, you know? Like, she's literally stupid. I can't stand her sometimes. Like, she has her good moments, don't get me wrong, but like I really hate how she would act stupid a lot, and I didn't like that. Like, girl, you're not that stupid. You're dumb, but you're not that stupid. So I literally have to tell her like, I don't care if we stay or go. I don't care. She's like, you're just saying that because Mr. Peach is telling you. And I'm like, no. I'm being so monotone with her because I want to irritate her. Is that rude? Yes. Is that petty? Yes. But you guys, I am so irritated and exhausted. Like, I literally am hoping that like if we do go home, I can just lock myself in the restroom and just pass out because of how tired I am. Like, I am so tired. Waking up in the middle of the night to change the babies, if they went through the diaper, if they pooped outside, if they wet the bed, like, it's just a lot. And then it's just like somewhat triggering to keep hearing him talk her through it. And it's so annoying. Like, I wish that wouldn't like upset me sometimes to hear that stuff going on, because it literally just sets something off in my brain. It makes me feel like super uncomfortable. So I just feel like super agitated. Like, I feel overstimulated now. So I'm just like, okay, like whatever. Like, I don't want to hear her. So I tell her, like, I don't care, like, what we do. And she's like, no, I just feel like you're going to judge me for whatever I choose. I'm just telling her, just tell me what you want to do so that I know if I pack up the kids and help you, or if we just stay and I try to take a nap. What do you need a nap for? You already slept. oh my God, you go overboard. And I'm just like, oh my God. Y'all, I hated feeling like I could never just like sleep good. I feel like that was like always an issue, whether it be her, Baltimore, or the ex's mom. Like it was so weird where I was just like, I'm not even sleeping like that. Like I'm not even sleeping in where it's like, damn, the afternoon, bitch. Like nothing like that. That's why when me and Brady got together too, and I remember just like sleeping over at his house, and I remember waking up, and it was kind of like the afternoon. I remember thinking like, oh my God, like I got up, like, oh my God, it was such a huge no, and he was just like, you're good. Like it was such a different like homey feeling, like a home, not a homie, like a home feeling, you know? I always just felt like it was just like, oh my God. I shouldn't have to act like I'm taking a shower so that I can like decompress, take a nap. Like it was just so weird. Like I shouldn't be like, no, like I don't want to go, like, you know, go to the store, or like I'm gonna just like hang back so that I can freaking sleep. Like that's not normal. Like what the heck? And I'm a grown teenager at the time. Like I do need extra sleep to like grow certain things. Maybe that's why my ass is so short. Just kidding. I know it's because I had my babies young. So we go back and forth, and I'm like, okay, like just tell me what you want. No me hables así, like not to talk to her like that. And I was like, or even Mr. Peach has to tell her like, mi amor, it's okay, like it's fine, like I just think that you need to take a nap. She's like, yeah, I need to take a nap because I'm exhausted. You know what's hard? You know how hard it is to be a mother? And I'm just sitting there under my breath. I'm like, well, how would you know? Like you wouldn't even know. Like, yeah, you should ask me, bitch. The fuck? I'm having these like arguments with myself, and I'm just like looking at him, and he does the whole like, or even he knows, where I'm just like, this bitch is so stressed out, she naps. She doesn't just nap, she snores. And I'm just sitting there so mad, and I'm so glad that Mr. Peach could like see me fuming, or he is even like, Alexis, está bien if you do want to go to sleep for a little bit, mija, está bien. And I don't even fight him on it. I'm like, okay, I knock out. Yeah, like I'm just like, I'm so tired. I didn't even want to fight with him. Like, no, I don't want to, because I don't want to hear her. Nope. I was like, okay, say last night. So I knock out, and I end up having sleep paralysis, and it is freaking horrible, you guys. I just remember trying so hard to call out to the kids, Mr. Peach, and nothing. Once I started praying, boom, went away. Woke up, Mr. Peach asks me like, oh, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, why? He tells me that he could hear that I was struggling in my dream, but that he didn't want to wake me up just in case I was having fun. Oh, that man just pissed me off like all the time. I was like, oh no, I was having a nightmare. Yeah, I look like you were. And I'm like, oh, why didn't you wake me up? And he's like, oh, I told you, because what if it wasn't and I ruined it for you? And I'm just like, okay. And so I turn because I'm gonna go back to bed, and he tells me like, no, that Mrs. Peach is up and they want to go downstairs. And I'm like, oh, okay. Literally, I was asleep for like an hour. So I'm like, okay, better than nothing, I'll take it, right? They go, they gamble, it's all cool. I call Sam one more time. Boom, I can leave a voicemail. So I'm like, okay, this little bitch is listening to them. Cool, I'm gonna leave her a voicemail. I'm gonna tell her off. It's gonna be great. I leave her a voicemail, and I even listen back to it because I'm like, I gotta make sure that I sound mad, that I sound like I mean business, because ain't no way. So I wanted to show you guys what I got in PR. This is from Glow Recipe, you guys. They sent me their new Watermelon Flush and Berry Flush, Dewy Flush, Brightening Tinted Cheek Serum. So Dewy Glow, Sun Glow, Rosy Glow. We are going to be using Berry Flush. Oh, it smells so good. Look at the cute little doe applicator. Ooh, that's a pretty color, y'all. And just blend in with your fingertips. So I listened to back to the voicemail, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it sounds mad enough. Okay, cool. Call back, and I leave her another one, and I tell her like, girl, you need to get it together. Answer your phone so we can go. I don't want to be here no more. And I don't want to do this. And Baltimore says she's gonna come, and I don't want to do her either. So get it together, bitch, because I'm so mad. I leave so many voicemails, I fill it up again, and I'm like, good, because I hope she gets the memo. I hope she gets the memo. And I tell her in the voicemail, like, hey, we might switch rooms because Mrs. Peach is acting like a little bitch. So your ass better go to the front desk because I don't want to hear no excuses. And you think that we abandoned you because we didn't. No excuses. Hang it up. I make sure to be very detailed in those voicemails because I don't want no woulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda at all. The night goes on. A couple of days pass. Still no Sam. And I'm getting mad because I keep calling and she keeps, you know, checking her voicemails, or I can keep leaving more. Threatening her. Then it goes to like, girl, I'm worried. I am worried. What are you doing? And I think it's because she felt like she was too deep in it, that she thinks that like, no, I can't because they're gonna be mad. And it's like, yeah, even if they're gonna be mad, you still need to come home, bitch. Like, what are you doing? But I think it's because she was so used to not having consequence that she really was like, I'm scared, you know, like, it's for real this time. I'm scared. So Sam is gone for a long time. Mrs. Peach is like, okay, we need to go back home. She's getting tired of Mr. Peach now. Now they're fighting, getting annoyed of each other. The honeymoon is over. She's over it. She's getting annoyed with every little thing that he does. It annoys her. He asks her a question. She hates how he asks it. He jokes. She hates how he jokes. He is annoying. So it's like, girl, I can't blame you. But this time, she's serious. I packed the kids up, and this time, she's not going back and forth trying to, oh, I left something, or oh, he's gonna beg me. No, she's done. Like, I think that's what she needed. I think she needed that time to be like, okay, yeah, like, I'm for real done with him. Like, ugh, that was stupid, you know? He don't even fight her on it. He's just like, okay, whatever. So we pack up and we head out. The kids are even getting better. They're like not having any poops. So I'm chilling because I'm like, okay, cool. When we get back, it's gonna be smooth sailing. But I'm still worried because I wanted to leave back with Sam. I was leaving homegirl little updates, diary updates. This is what happened. This is what you're missing. Girl, I know you're checking these voicemails. Well, I hope you're checking these voicemails and it's not some psycho killer getting updated by me. I hope you're doing good. I hope you want to come home. I know it's a real thing and like kids run away and sometimes they don't come back, but like I hope this is not the case. Like I'm sure your dad's gonna give you chingazo, but dude, it's better than being out here. There ain't nothing out here. And we know you love being a puta, so get back home. I have to go because I want to see my brothers, but maybe since it's just gonna be you and your dad, he'll just pretend he gave you chingazos and it'll be nothing. I hope you're still here. I hope you're not back at home. I don't know why. I have a feeling you went back home. So I'm just like leaving these voicemails and I really am sad that we have to leave her. I don't want her to face Mr. Peach on her own. And you guys know I have a soft spot for Sam. Even though she's a pain in my... I let her. I do let her. Me, Mrs. Peach, boom, we head out. We head out, we stop for snacks, we're having a good time. She tries to give me a whole little speech and I knew it was coming. I knew it. I could feel it in my soul, I could feel it in my heart, I could feel it in my butt. She's gonna sit here and she's gonna try to tell me, don't follow no man, put your self-worth higher than any, you know, that kind of thing. And yeah, she pretty much tells me not to chase anybody, that she knows I'm dealing with my own. She doesn't want me thinking that, oh my God, it never ends, even as they get older, which I was like disgusted because like, girl, what about vacation? What are you doing? Like, oh my God, I'm like scared for you. So she's talking to me and I'm literally like, she's getting upset because I think she even knows too, like she just sounds stupid. Like, how are you going to give advice and you're just dumb? Like, I can't stand to hear her. And she knows this and she knows I don't like her. And so I think she gets mad because she wants me to be like, oh my God, you're so smart. How are you so smart? You know what I mean? Like, that's honestly what it feels like. She wants me to like tell her because she just keeps looking at me like, no, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. And I'm pissed off that you didn't help take care of your babies. No, you're an idiot. Like, you're so stupid. That's why you never give me no mom advice, no nada, because you know you're stupid. So I'm just like having these conversations in my head and she's really trying to like get through to me. And I'm just like, because I'm not listening. So she asks me, where am I gonna want to watch the kids, at her house or Mr. Peach's? I tell her Mr. Peach because I am not trying to see her interact with her other boo thing. Like, that's just weird. I'm not good at like hiding my face, you know, like that's gross. You know what I'm saying? This concealer one always cracks me the freak up. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. So it is like the longest 2 to 3 hours to get home. Like, I hate to hear her talk. I really do. I wish she wouldn't want to talk. Like, I really wish that she would just shut up. The whole time, you guys, I feel like I'm just cringing. Like it hurts. Like, stop talking, stop talking, stop talking. Like, I kept trying to act like I was falling asleep just so I wouldn't hear her. But the bitch was going over, you know, those things where it's like, it makes that noise if you go over too much. So like, if you're sleeping, you hear the like, I don't know what it's called. Oh my gosh, she kept going over it, and I'm just like, bitch, I know you're doing it so that I don't fall asleep. You will see you next Tuesday. Like, I just want to get some sleep. I'm freaking tired. Like, so she would go and I'd be like like trying really hard to like not get annoyed and like try to talk to her. And she was like picking it up that like I didn't want to talk to her, and she was like, está bien si no me quieres hablar, just tell me. And it's like, oh, you know I can't, you know, that's like a trick question. You know, if I do tell you like, yeah, no quiero hablar, that it's going to be an issue and that I'm so disrespectful. Like, it was never like you meant that. Like, you're a liar. You know what I'm saying? We stopped to get some gas. I take the babies out, go inside, do our little business. Mr. Peach calls me. I get so excited because I'm like, oh my god, like, she finally popped up. You know, she finally popped up. No, he's just calling to see how's everything and how is Mrs. Peach. She doing good? Like, Alexis, you got to make sure that you stay awake. And I'm like, oh my god, she called him. She called him to cry to him. He's like, I don't know why you're so tired. There's no reason for you to be so tired. You're so young. And I'm like, it's been a long week. Like, it's been a long week, and maybe I'm getting sick. Like, maybe I got what the baby's got. Oh, you know what? Sabes que that makes more sense. And I'm like, yeah. And he's telling me that, well, Mrs. Peach needs help with the kids. So even if I feel sick, to still help out, that when he gets home, then I can stay asleep in the room and he'll make sure that no one bugs me, but to please do him this favor and to make sure that the kids are good. That's what he kept saying. Please make sure that the kids are good, because he knows what he married. And so I'm like, yes, of course I will. Thank you, Alexis. Thank you. Remember I told you guys that my daughter has a classmate and her name is Alexis? Oh my god, super freaking triggering when I hear that little girl, her name being called. Not the little girl, her name being called. I'm just like, every time the teacher says it just how they would say it too. Alexis, like, oh my god, it trips me out. Like, what are the odds of that happening? Like, that's so freaking funny. So I load the kids back in the car, and she asks me if Mr. Peach called, and I tell her yeah. She tells me like, oh, did he have an update on Sam? And I'm like, no, he told me to stay awake and not to fall asleep. And she's like, what? Why would he say that? And she's like trying to be funny, but like, I don't think it's funny, you guys. Like, I'm so annoyed that she did that. I'm just like, Alexis, no te enojes. Like, oh my gosh, Alexis, like, don't get mad. And I'm like, I'm not mad. And it's like, yes, clearly, like, I am. Because I'm like so annoyed. I'm just like, I hate that, like, little, like, like, I just hate it, you guys. So I'm just like this. I'm like that, and she's just like, oh my gosh, like, you're so rude. Like, she's trying so hard, and I'm just like, stop talking. Like, you guys, it hurts. It literally hurts where I don't want to hear her. So we take off, and she literally is chatting my ear off the whole freaking time. She's telling me about how it was such an eye-opener staying, and that he almost got her back again, but that she doesn't want to be living the rest of her life always feeling like she can never have her own opinion, and to make sure that when I settle down that I marry someone who I'm going to tolerate even on my bad days. And I'm like, She keeps telling me like, you're not even listening to me. So I literally have to repeat back everything that she says to me. She says that she knows that I'm listening to her, and she's like, oh, okay, you are listening. Oh, it's just like, it's just so hard. Like, I want to work it out with him, Alexis, because our babies, but it's just so hard. And I tell her, like, yeah. She tells me it's so complicated. And I tell her, like, no, like, I believe you. I don't know, like, what do you think I should do? And I was like, I don't know. Because I hate that. Like, don't ask me. Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. And so I keep telling her, I don't know. She's like, oh my gosh, you never know anything. And I was like, why do you guys say that? Because it's not true. Like, I do know things. I just don't like talking to you guys. And I just get quiet because I'm like, damn, did I say that out loud? And she's like, oh, okay. And so she just sits in silence. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to hear about that later. Like, oh my God. I'm like, oh, sorry, that came out wrong. No, está bien. You don't want to talk to me? It's okay. It's okay. And then the next breath, how rude I am, how disrespectful. That do I know how many people would want this position, and that I probably think like, oh, who would want this position because it's really hard, but like, believe it or not, like, there is people. And I'm just like, bitch. And so I'm like, She says that like, oh, I get to go with them and it's the experience, and that she's not trying to offend me, but like, let's be honest here. I'm probably never going to be able to have these opportunities. I'm probably not going to be able to, you know, travel with my kids when I get older and stuff like that, because it takes a lot of money and it is just not something that everyone can do. And so I should take in these moments, because when I get older, I'm going to be working and I won't be able to like spend time with my kids. I keep saying that I want to have a lot of kids, but it's going to be a lot of work. And then I tell her like, but I am going to be able to work and take my kids with me. I want to take my kids with me. I want to spend time with my kids. I am going to want to. And she's like, it's going to be hard. And I tell her like, I'm sure it's going to be hard, but I'm going to make sure that I put in the work. I make it possible. Let's just hope that I don't end up like my mom. And I was like, yeah, same goes for. And I said the baby's names. She gives me the ugliest looks ever. And she's like, never again disrespect my children like that. And I tell her, okay, me too. Never say I'm going to end up like my mother. That is very rude and there's no need for it. And she's like, como que no? I'm telling you, I hope you don't end up like your mother. And I'm like, same thing. I'm telling you, I hope the kids don't end up like you. And she's like, it's not the same thing. You think it's the same thing and it's not. I'm not like your mother. You're worse. You're functioning. You're still the way that you are. My mom acts like this because there's something wrong with her. She's sick. You're not. We kind of have like a heated like discussion about it, and she's telling me that she thinks that my mom knows better, and I'm like, okay, well, she doesn't, because when she's good, she's good. And when she's taking her medication, she's good. So she doesn't. You do. There's something wrong with you. And she's, you know, telling me like, no, that I can believe what I want. And it was honestly a scary discussion, because I just remember my voice shaking and me getting the shivers, and it made her smile. I would hate that, like, anytime I would confront the ex's like sister or even his mom, sometimes my voice would shake, and it made me so mad, because I knew that they automatically thought like, oh, I won. And it's like, no, I don't know. It's like I got cold. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I would literally like shake, and as I was talking, like, it would be like that, and they'd just be like you could just see that they would pity. So that's what was happening. You know, proceeds to tell me that there's nothing wrong with what she does. That if a man did it, it wouldn't be a problem. But that since she wants to put herself first, it's a problem. And so then I'm like, okay. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't want to argue with her about it. I'm just like, okay, like, whatever. And I was like, and if you think that I'm not going to be such a horrible individual, or that I'm going to end up like my mom, then like, why do you leave me with kids? When I said that, I wish I could take it back immediately, because I'm like, oh my gosh, she's going to rip them from me. She's going to rip them from me, and she's going to try and hurt me. She just stares at me as she's driving, tells me that she doesn't want to talk to me anymore, and that to not ask her for anything, to call everybody else but her. I'm never gonna need you. I'm always going to be okay. Even my future kids, they're always going to be okay, because I am going to be the best mom ever, and I'm always going to make sure I provide for them. Don't worry about me, because I didn't want her thinking what she said was going to have like it was going to do anything to me. I was just like, don't want any of that. Nope. My kids are going to be great. I'm gonna be great. They're never gonna go without, and I'm going to make sure that I do everything that I need to make sure that my kids are always good. She's like, well, you better marry rich then. I said, even if I don't marry rich, I'm gonna make sure that I do it then. At the end of the day, I'm always gonna be great. I'm not gonna need it. And I just kept going because I didn't want her to spew anything on me. I didn't want her, so I just made sure to like, just to keep saying it over and over. And you could tell she was getting annoyed with me. She was like, no, you better make sure. I was like, no. I don't need to find someone rich, because I'm gonna find someone rich in love. I'm gonna find someone rich in family. I'm gonna find someone rich. And I was like, your definition of rich is different than my definition. So we were just like, you know, being like going back and forth. And she was telling me that money does buy happiness, that if I think it doesn't, then I'm stupid. I'm gonna have money and I'm gonna have family. I'm gonna have both of the riches. And so we just kept going back and forth, and I think she just like left me alone because she could hear my voice shaking, where I think she knew, like she caught herself and was like, okay, I'm being like a stupid adult, you know, I'm being horrible to her. And for what? Because I know in my heart of hearts that she knows that I was a good nanny to her babies, that she could trust me with her babies. And I feel like she at times would get scared of how mean she was to me sometimes, that she was probably like, oh my gosh, like what if this girl just snaps and she becomes someone like really evil to the babies. So I feel like that's why sometimes she would pull back and she would just stop, because something in her eyes, you could just see it in her eyes, would just like, it would just change. I don't know, like I guess they would like soften, where she would just like pull back from her eyes being dark, you know. I let her know, like, I'm gonna be rich in family and I'm gonna be rich in money. I'm going to be content. My kids are never gonna go without, and I'm always gonna make sure that they have everything and anything they ever need. And she was just like, okay, que bueno. I really hope that happens for you. And I'm like, yeah, I don't care what you say. And so she was like, okay. The rest of like the 20-30 minutes we had, silence, where I was like, damn, finally. I wasn't even tired. I was like fuming, where I was just like, why are you such a bitch, man? Like I was so upset. Like, how dare you try to spew negative on me? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, I was so aggravated of like, why would you want to do that? Like, you miserable God, I love that powder. That powder is so good. Laura Mercier is oof, one of my favorite powders. The translucent is amazing. Literally just looks like you're wearing a filter. So I pull up to the house and I'm going to get out and I'm going to open the back door for the babies. She speeds off. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's what we're gonna do? Okay, whatever. So I go inside the house. Baltimore's sitting on the couch. She's looking at me and she's like, where's Sam? And I'm like, I don't know. Come on, chingas, come on. How don't you effing know? And I'm like, I don't know. We still can't find her. Mr. Peach is going to be waiting out there until she pops up. Baltimore thinks that I know more than what I'm letting on, and I had to sit there and argue with her and tell her that I don't. That I only know what she knows, and that's nothing. And that I've been leaving voicemails. And then she yells at me like, oh my god, I'm filling up the voicemails with my stupideces, like with my stupid stuff, and that I probably do know where Sam's at. I just don't want to say nothing. And I'm like, I don't. And she's like, yes you do. And I'm like, I don't. So we start yelling at each other because I'm like, oh my god. And then she's like, where's the kids? And I'm like, I don't know. She just took off. She got upset. We were having an argument. She got mad. Her voice cracks mid-conversation. And I just go upstairs because I'm like, I don't want to deal with it. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my god, are you okay? I don't care. I don't care. Go upstairs, take the hottest of showers, and I knock out. I make sure that I put things in front of the door because I don't want Baltimore to come upstairs and be like, oh, I was just checking on things. I don't want to deal with any of that. So I make sure that I bolt up the door, wake up, and it's dark, like super dark outside. I'm like, okay, great. I wake up, I have some messages from Mr. Peach. He asks me like, what did I do to piss off Mrs. Peach? And that he told me to make it easy for her and not stress her out. Why does he have to babysit us? Why can't we just act right? I messaged him back that she was just upset and she wanted to spend time with the kids. I didn't know what to say. He tells me not to piss her off anymore and just to leave her alone. I'm like, okay, great. So a couple of days pass by and it's just me and Baltimore in the house. So I eventually ask her like, what are you doing here? She tells me that I need to mind my business, and I said, okay, fine, I will. She keeps telling me to stop locking the door, that she doesn't know how I'm doing it to stop. And I'm like, how do you know I'm locking the door? Alexis, don't start. I'm like, no, how do you know I'm locking the door? She tells me like that she needed to get something from like the room that like Sam left, but then I was gonna start with my stuff, and I was like, don't be going into the room. See, if you need something, let me know. I walked away and I was like, oh my god, thank god that she didn't say anything. I ended up hanging out with the ex. We're hanging out, having a good time, no worries. Asked me if I talked to my mom, and I'm like, nope, because my mom MIA calls, we yell at each other, MIA call, yell at each other. So I'm like, nope. I tell him the situation with Tommy. He goes, maybe we should take a break. And I'm like, excuse me? Yeah, maybe we should take a break. Like, I don't want to bring drama to like you and your family. Oh my gosh, my heart felt like it just got punched all the way down to my gut. And I'm like, I don't care what they say. Like, I don't care. Like, no. Like, we're not gonna break up. Like, are you dumb? Like, no, like, that's so stupid. Like, no, we don't need a break. And I'm like fighting with him about it. I'm like, like, no, like, that's so dumb. Like, we don't need to have a break. Like, because of that, like, I never should have even told you. Like, I'm freaking out because I'm like, I thought we were doing good. Like, like, what? Like, no, what? Like, I'm like panicking. I hate to read how freaking worried I would get when I thought like, oh my god, this is it. We're going to be done for real this time. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Like, the separation anxiety that I had with this guy was insane. I would not wish it on anybody, not even my worst freaking enemies. It was such a nasty feeling that I would get where I feel like my world was ending. Like, what is there to live for? I have nothing else. Like, who's going to want me? Like, who is going to want me? Like, who is going to want little Alexis? Like, who? Nobody. Like, he knows everything that happened with me and my stepdad. Like, who's gonna want that? Who's gonna want to deal with somebody like that? Like, literally, I felt like if he didn't want me, nobody would. Who would want me? Who? Like, I felt like it was only him, because in my mind he was my first everything. No, there's no way. And so like, I pleaded with him, please, no, like, don't say that. Like, no, it's me and you forever. Remember, you said we're gonna be together forever. Remember, you said that, remember? And he was just like, oh, well, I don't want to cause no drama with you and your family. And it's like, there's always something. Like, it's just too much for me. And in my head, I'm like, the audacity that you have when you are the biggest mama's boy of them all. I have to deal with your mom. I have to deal with your sister. I have to deal with your brother-in-law. The audacity. I was just like, oh my god. But what came out? Babe, no, like, it's just me and you. Like, you said that, remember? Like, you said you wouldn't. What do I need to do? What do you want me to do? Like, it was so pathetic. And I know you guys say not to be harsh on little Lex, but I get so mad where I'm just like, why? I get literally hurts to read sometimes where I'm just like, get the fuck up. Like, I wish I could go back in time and just pep talk myself all the way up, or like I wouldn't even, or like say the magic words, hypnotize myself, something, because but then I wouldn't, because I wouldn't change a thing. Bittersweet thing, you know? So I do so much begging, it's ridiculous. So he tells me that I better tell Tommy to not talk bad about him. Yeah, in my mind I'm thinking, boy, shut the f, you're so dumb. You are dumb. You really are on an ego trip. But what comes in my mouth? Yes, baby. Yes, I'll tell her. Like, I'll tell her. And you know what my dumbass did? And you know what Tommy did? You don't want to know. I tell him that, and then he tells me like, okay, like, come say sorry to me now. Even during, I was so pissed off because I was like, why? This is so gross. Like, I didn't want to be with him because of that. I wanted to be with him just to be with him. Because even later on, years when we break up, he knew how much I did not like sleeping with him, that he told me, if you stay with me, we never have to sleep together, just as long as we're together. I promise you, Alexis, I promise you, we won't need to sleep together. Because even he knew how it was so hard for me. Like, it was just, and I would cry. It would be so painful. My body was literally rejecting him. I remember hearing those words come out of his mouth of, we will never have to sleep together, just as long as we're together. I remember being like, why didn't you say this when I still loved you? Like, why didn't you give that to me as an option? Why? Like, I was so mad, but I was already so done. I was just like, I'm done. I'm done. So after all that begging, he drops me back off. Baltimore locks me out. I had to find my way back in. I ruined one of the screen doors. I know I'm gonna hear it from Mr. Peach. Go upstairs, shower, all that good stuff. I'm like, oh my god, this feels so amazing. Cool. I can sleep. I can just enjoy it. Cool. I call, leave Sam another voicemail. I know this freaking little bitch is listening to them, because how are they getting cleared? Because she's listening to them. She's freaking psycho. I call Mr. Peach. He doesn't have any update. Now he sounds pissed. Now he's just like, I don't know where the F is she. I'm tired of these effing games. But it's because no one's there to entertain him. I'm just like, okay. He asks me how Mrs. Peach is doing, and I'm like, I don't know. She still has to come around. Como que no? I was like, no. He's like, oh my god. That if it's not one thing, it's another. How's the kids? And I'm like, she has the kids. Alexis. I'm like, ¿qué? He's like, ¿Cómo chingas no tienes? And I'm like, He's like, how the F don't you have the kids? I'm like, I don't have them. He's like, oh my god. That he's gonna figure it out to enjoy these days without them, because that when I do get them, oof, I have lots of making up to do. And I'm just like, what? So I'm like, click, hang up, go downstairs, make me something to eat. Baltimore's still not there, so I'm literally just enjoying it. Boom, I get a message. The ex tells me, hey, I think we should still take that break. Yeah, appetite completely gone. I'm like, no. What did I do? What did I do? I thought we ended it off good. I'm like, what are you talking about? Literally go back and forth, to the point where he gets upset with me, calls me out my name, and says he doesn't want it. That what the F is wrong with me? And I'm like, okay, cool, okay. And I finally back off. I cry till I throw up, because I am just like, oh my god, what did I do? Not a damn thing. I feel sick. I'm like, ain't no way. Like, what? There's no way. I call Mel, she doesn't answer. I call Skillet, she doesn't answer. I call Biscuit, she doesn't answer. I'm just like, oh my god, like, I need someone to talk to. Like, I feel like my world is like, oh my god. I'm like freaking out. I go upstairs, hold off the door, knock out, and I get awakened to 1 private phone call, 2 private, 3, and the 4th one I finally answer, and I'm like, hello, and I could just hear him breathing, and I get so upset, because I'm like, why? If he wants this break so bad, why do you keep toying with me? Why? So then I am like, F off. Get a life. You're so pathetic. I can't believe you call and call. You're pathetic. Hang up. Calls back again private. Don't answer. Calls again. Don't answer. Calls again. Don't answer. Calls again. Don't answer. And I just silence it, because I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I try to go to sleep. Turn the TV on. I'm trying to distract myself. Trying to watch some movies that like will make me get in a better mood, but I am literally just rocking myself back and forth, just crying, because I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't get it. What, like, why? Like, I didn't do anything. We could be having fun. I'm not even watching the kids right now. Mr. Peach is over there. Sam's missing. Like, it's a good time. An hour or 2 passes by. I get another private call. I don't answer. Another private call. I don't answer. 3rd one, his number pops up, and I answer it quick. He hangs up on me. Jade, you are such a loser. I get so mad at myself, because I'm like, oh my god. He texts me, didn't mean to call. Bitch, yes you did. It's the latest. And I'm like, oh my god. So I'm like, do we get ballsy and write him and fight with him? Yeah, sure. Let's ruin his night. So I'm like, I'm so tired of these games. Are you tired of these games? Like, why were you over here calling me private? He's like, I didn't call you private. What are you talking about? Oh my God, you're so crazy. He's literally fighting with me, calling me crazy. And I'm like, yeah, you did. I didn't answer the private one. You called right after. He was like, it was an accident. Chill out. I've been getting private phone calls. I'm like, you're lying. You're lying. You're lying. He tries to blame Sam, saying that it's probably Sam calling me private, that I should have answered because she's missing. And now someone's probably, and it's my fault because I didn't answer. I'm like, you're sick. There's something wrong with you. Go mom. Like, I'm just trying to be so foul because I'm like, okay, let's cut it. Let's cut the cord right now. Let's cut the cord. Being so hateful towards each other. He's like, I didn't call you. F you. I can't stand you. And I'm like, yes, you did. Yes, you did. I know you did. Because back before, he was calling over my cell phone. He was calling me on my landline. And I remember my mom getting pissed because he would call private. My mom *67. No, was it *69? *69 or *67, where you can call back whoever called you. You know, if you didn't have like the thing, whatever. He answered. She's like, did you just call? And he was like, no. She's like, don't be calling my house. He then gets pissed off at me, calls me, tells me, don't be having your mom yell at me. So it was him. It was him. I would bet millions, okay? But this dude would gaslight me so bad. And not even till the very, very end, where we're finally separating, that he tells me, yes, it was me. Because he would tell me, like, no, it wasn't me. Even when we would fight later on, like years into our relationship, he'd be like, no, I didn't. You're crazy. And I'd be like, what? Are you sure? That's so crazy? And I would take his word for it. And then, not until the very end, he came clean about everything. Almost everything. And I'd be like, I knew it. I knew it. Like, I knew it. It was just crazy. So, we were literally going back and forth, being nasty. And I would wait like 3-4 minutes to reply. I feel like where we did this so much back and forth, I messed up my phone. And that's a real thing, okay? I don't care what nobody says. The negative energy, I feel like, messes up these devices. Even now, I feel like back then, a lot of my phones wouldn't last because of so much negativity. It's crazy. Someone I know close to me, literally constant negative energy ball. Phones are always breaking. Electronics are always breaking around them. And I'm like, dude, I bet you anything it's because you're full of negative energy. Everything negative. It's crazy. I believe it. So I get the last word. Tell him off, turn off my phone. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with it. I want to have the last word. I don't care. Knock out, wake up. It's like almost like afternoonish. I'm happy because I'm like, oh my God, I slept in good. I finally feel like I'm like, nope. I look at my phone, reality sets in, and I start to get sad. And I'm like, oh my God, I just want to move somewhere, have like a brand new start. Like, this is so stupid. I turn on my phone and I have messages from Tommy. I have messages from my mom. I have messages from Skillet. I have messages from X. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I see voicemail and I'm like, oh my God. I go to my voicemail, I listen, and it's Sam. I'm so freaking happy to hear that crackhead's voice. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's telling me that she's good, that she's just hanging with some friends, that she don't want to deal with her mom, she don't want to deal with her dad, and that she just doesn't feel safe at home, and that she tried telling me before, but I didn't want to listen. No one wants to take her serious, and I'm just listening, and I'm like, girl, play whatever card you gotta play. Go do what you gotta do. But come back, you know. So I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like so pissed off that I missed the freaking phone call. I call her back, her voicemail's failed. So I'm like, okay, cool. She probably left everyone a voicemail, giving everyone an update over here. Because now it's going like almost 2 weeks that she's been gone. 2 freaking weeks. And I'm just like, ain't no way, girl. Ain't no way. So the ex's messages telling me off. Don't contact me. Don't message me. This is too much. My mom doesn't want us together. I'm just like, okay. I stopped reading halfway because I'm like, I don't care. I don't even want to read it. It's too much. It's too much. Tommy asks me if I'm back yet, that she wants to talk to me, and that I better replace those sheets. Ain't no way in replacing those sheets. I didn't do anything. Like, she really got me messed up. Like, I didn't do anything. I call Mr. Peach back. He tells me that Sam left him a voicemail. He wants me to tell her that he's not playing these games, that if she gets picked up, she's going to juvie. And I'm like, okay. He's like, no, 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 you better tell her. And I'm like, okay. He tells me that I better not just be sleeping all day, that I better be doing all the chores in the house, making sure that everything's clean, doing the laundry, that this is not a vacation for me. So he's just going in on me, and I'm just like, okay, okay. Okay, just listening. Go downstairs. Baltimore's all laid out on the couch. She tells me, what did I tell you about locking the door? Like putting things against the door. I just ignore her. I start doing the dishes, start cleaning around. Did you not hear me? Me and her start having a little argument. I don't want to deal with it. My phone rings and it's my mom. I answer it right away. I'm like, hey, mom. Looking at her because that bitch don't come near me. She asks me like I didn't answer earlier, and I was like, oh, my phone was off, the charger's all messed up. She's telling me that she's gonna be in the neighborhood, that if I wanted to like see her or anything like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, yes, I would. She's like, okay, be ready at this time. She never comes. I call her, we get into a fight. She's pissed off because, oh my god, if it's not one thing, it's another, and my brothers and me are never happy, and she just feels so much pressure. Okay, mom, whatever. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to do. Like, it's so annoying. I'm just like, okay. Me and Skillet get to talking. She tells me if I want to go to a little hangout. I'm like, yep. She said, no talk about the ex. No talk about the drama. She's just trying to have a good time. And I said, cool, me too. Me too. I'm getting ready. Baltimore comes upstairs. She's asking me what I'm doing. I'm telling her like, oh, I'm gonna go see my mom. She's like, dressed like that? And I was like, guys, it was not even dress crazy. I'm telling you, it's not even dress crazy. It's not like if I had these out. I'm literally t-shirt, pants, and my Skechers. Like, literally, that's it. She tries to have a little speech with me, like, oh, I feel like you know where Sam's at, and that's what you're gonna go do right now. And I was like, you're literally crazy. She's still in Wendover. She called me. She's out there. She's like, she didn't call me. A ver, let me listen to the voicemail. A ver. So I had to play the voicemail for her. She wants to hold my physical phone. And I'm like, no, here you go. And I'm like holding it like this. She's like trying to grab it. She's telling me not to start with her. I'm like, please, you don't start. She's getting upset. I'm getting upset. Skillet calls me, tells me that she's around the corner. I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta go. I ran downstairs. She's calling my name. She's screaming my name, saying that to come back now, that she's not playing any games with me. And I'm like, nope, I'm leaving. So I go, hop in the car with Skillet, kind of fill her in with everything that's going on, even though we said we're not gonna talk about the drama, but she still wanted to talk about the cheese man, because we always say that, right? Like, we don't want to talk about the drama, we don't want to talk about this, whatever. And it's been a hot minute since I haven't seen Skillet, so I wanted to fill her in with everything. She's like, dang, that's crazy. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck there. She's like, dude, I don't even know. We go to the party. She has her friend driving us. There's another girl in the back. We'll call her Wink Wink. We'll call her Wink Wink. Wink Wink's pretty cool. We end up going to the party. We're having a good time. I'm literally just drinking water because I'm like, I'm not even trying to get messed up. I'm not even trying to do anything like that. Thank goodness. I swear I feel like my guardian angels were talking to me that night not to drink anything of anything of anything. Anytime someone would pass me something, I'd be like, oh, thanks. I'd go to the restroom, dump it down the sink, dump it down the toilet. Do that if you feel peer pressure to drink and you're like, oh my god, they're gonna look at me. Hang with it, chill for a little. You can just even go like this. If you want it to let you touch your lips, if you want to, you don't have to. But if you want to, just like fake it. Or my favorite is when they would give me a shot, I would take the shot, act like I'm chasing it, spitting it back in the cup because you got me. Okay, yeah. So I was doing that method. I didn't tell Skillet because I didn't want her to be like, oh my god, I want to see you drink it. No, I want to see you drink it back. No, she gets messed up. I swear they put this girl on the rooftop, if you know what I'm talking about. Because she literally was out of it. Okay, we were only there for like 30 to 40 minutes. Boom, lights out. Me and her were dancing. We were on the couch having a good time. Here, Alexis, take a shot. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Spitting it back in that one, right? Oh, here's another one, you guys. Here's another drink. These boys were fun, but I was like, Anytime I would go to the restroom, I was taking her ass with me and having her look in the corner, and I was just dumping the drinks. Or she was on there. We were having a good time. Midway going into the hallway, I lost her. Not like lose her physically. I lost her. Like, she went lights out. Or am I talking to her? She starts mumbling. She can't even talk. And I'm like, you good? Y'all, I was so scared. Instantly, I'm like, they put her on the rooftop. They put her on the rooftop. I was scared. I was like, wait, what? Okay, I gotta go find Wink Wink. So I'm like trying to find Wink Wink because she is the one who's older than us. So she's gonna be able to drive. The boy who brought us at the beginning, he's no longer there because he was getting tired because sometimes Skillet be acting a little bit too feisty and it's not everyone's tea. Like she be straight punking people and be like, you're a bitch, you're a bitch. You know, that kind of stuff. Like, oh, and don't call me later and don't call me crying. Like she be putting your business out there, you know what I mean? Especially the boys, she like to like have them like this. So I'm like looking for Wink Wink. I can't find her. Going through the rooms, boys are trying to come up to Skillet and like, oh come on, let's just go down, let's go hang out there. I was like, no, she good, she good. Where like it was making me feel uncomfortable and something in my gut was like, you need to leave. Like you need to leave. Something's gonna happen. You need to leave. So I'm like getting scared, and what did Tommy say? Don't call me for nothing. So I'm like, what did Mrs. Peach say? So I'm like going crazy. I'm like, oh my god. Like I'm literally like wanting to whine because I know Skillet is on the rooftop and I'm like, y'all, I take her to the restroom. She's not coherent at all. I'm asking her questions and she's literally like, pizza, and then Frank delivered it and we ate it. And I said, bitch, what? I slapped the shit out of her because I was so scared. And I was like, wake up, Skillet. She's like, and then we ate it. And I was like, oh my god, she's stuck on repeat. Oh my god. I got so close and I was like this to her face and she was like, and then Frank ate it. And I was like, oh my god. And I was just like grabbing her face and I was like, okay, we need to hydrate you. So I'm literally giving her water from the sink because when I went out there and I was like, oh, can we get a water bottle? We don't have that. I was like, oh, okay, can I just get some water from the sink? No, it's not working. It's not working? That's crazy. Okay. So I'm literally trying to give her water. When you are that drunk, you want anything but water. So Skillet was not wanting the water. Oh, you guys, I was getting so frustrated with her. So frustrated. I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. So I go out again and I have Skillet right here and she's just like, like just not even making sense. Where I'm like, bitch, make sense right now before I slap the taste out your mouth. I'm so mad because I'm like, the audacity for you to do this to me. What's wrong? And I noticed this one boy in particular, we'll call him Mike. He keeps looking at us. And it's not even like, oh, he's checking us out. It's like he's keeping eyes on us. Y'all, my stomach, even talking about it now, it hurt so much. And I'm just like, okay, we got to make sure that we leave because Mike keep like, I'll see him right here and we'll move over here and boom, he's right here. And I'm just like, Danny Phantom over here is freaking me the fuck out. Like, we got to leave. So I find Wink Wink and I tell her like, hey, like you need to get us a ride. Like we need to get out of here. I need to do what now? I was like, you need to find us a ride. We need to get out of here. She's on the rooftop. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm like, yeah. So she finds us a ride. Okay, cool. Pulls up. She tells us like, all right, let's go. Mike is like, where y'all headed to? I'm like, oh, she got to work in the morning. He said, that bitch don't got a job. I was like, okay, well, yeah, she does. And she's gonna help me. So we gotta go. He had us right there by the doorstep for the longest. And I was like, oh my god. And she's over here telling him that she likes pizza with pepperoni. And he's like, yeah, I know. Like, and he's thinking it's like the sexiest thing that she's saying. And I'm just like, he's telling me to chill out. I'm chill. Yo, I can either be calm or I can be Jada. And I was becoming Jada because I was getting pissed because I felt like, and I'm just like mad because I'm like, okay, we've been in these scenarios way too many. Like, it's just enough, Alexis. So I'm like fighting with myself and I'm like fighting with him. He's telling me that she doesn't look like she's ready to leave. And I said, really? Because she looks like she's ready for the bed. She's leaving. Like, she's not staying here. And he said, let's ask her. And so I look at Skillet and Skillet's like, I don't want to go. And I was like, oh, now you can talk? No, you're going to go. So she's kind of like trying to like budge with me. He's telling me that I need to calm that I'm killing the vibe. I said, I don't care what I'm killing. We're leaving. So I'm like walking past him. Wink Wink is by the door and she's like, Alexis, let's go. And I was like, Mike won't let us leave. She's like, Mike, get out of the way. We need to go. He's like, oh, hold up. Like, I'm just trying to talk to her. He takes Skillet right here by the porch. Like, he grabs her from y'all rough and they're talking. And Skillet is so out of it. Or even Mike's homeboy is like, bro, let her go. Let her go. Like, you're being weird. Let her go. He just looks at him. He's like, man, this bitch. And walks inside. And I'm like, yeah. He turns around. He's like, what'd you say, bitch? And I was like, who? I was so scared. So I grab Skillet and we're walking down and I'm so mad. Tell me why this bitch pinches me. She pinches me right here. I got so mad and I'm like, why the f did you pinch me? She looks at me and she's like, huh? I was like, bitch, you pinched me. She pinched me again, y'all. And I'm like, what? It hurt. So she keeps pinching me. I throw her in the back. I don't even see who's driving at the time. And Wink Wink is like, what the f taking so long? So I'm like telling her everything. She's like, it's so weird. I seen that he kept looking at us and he kept making us mad drinks. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, I noticed that too. Like, he was just so weird. He kept popping up here and there. You know, a little phantom over here, this over there. So we're like talking. And as we're talking, I scream because I feel like a pinch down by my thigh. And I'm like, oh my God, like, that really hurts. I look at her and I'm like, bro, like, stop pinching me. Because I'm like getting really mad because like those little pinches hurt. Like, the little ones hurt the most. And she's just like, stop pinching me. So I'm like still looking at Wink Wink. And I'm like talking to Wink Wink. I don't really notice the dude, like who the dude is. He has like his beanie and then he has like the hood over and he's like driving like this. Skillet pinches me right here. And so I'm like, yo. So one like that and her head goes boom. It goes like that. She goes down like this and she goes, ah. She starts screaming and just like bloody nose everywhere. Wink was like, damn, to me. And I was like, bro, like it was just like a reaction like that. I literally wanted to cry because of how bad she pinched me. So I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like looking at her, go like this. The dude starts screaming like, yo, that's my yo, you know how hard it is to get blood out? Now when he said that, I just looked up and I said, that's a weird thing to say. I'm like, what? Like, I just get, even Wink Wink is like, okay, so Wink Wink is like, what? I'm like, huh? Now I know something's up with Skillet because now she's not saying anything. Now she's not crying out, nothing. And she's just like this. I look up and then the thing, it's earring back. And I'm gonna end it there. I love you guys so much. Besos a todos. And I'll see you guys in my next story time. Bye. Let's begin. Chico,